Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? Welcome to another edition of the State of the Saints podcast live on YouTube. And this is the official week one live edition of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for checking out the podcast. Uh, First off, I want to apologize, man. I'm gonna have to start doing notifications in the future because you know I don't. People don't really know what time I was gonna go live. I did. I'm on Facebook, so I think the only thing I did was post a status to say I was gonna go live at 11 p.m. Central. Eastern time and 10 p.m. Central time. So I'm gonna start doing notifications so everybody can know what time to catch the State of the Saints podcast. Normally, I try to listen to WWL down in New Orleans. That's when Sean Payton, he does his press conferences and stuff like that, so I can know exactly what he said, what other players say. So it's probably going to be like around 20 to 30 minutes right after the game. That way I can hear the the interviews by the players and the coaches. But man, I hope everybody had themselves some baby aspirin, I'm saying, on deck, because I can tell you this, that game right there would have gave you a heart attack. Man, what a game though. What a game. What a game. I clearly, like, hands down, the best week one game of this season. Like, hands down. I mean, we watched the game on Thursday night, Bears and the Packers. That was terrible. And we watched like some of these other games over the weekend. Absolutely horrible, man. This was the best game of week one, hands down, like point blank, period. I honestly don't know how to start, man. Like, I'm just in shock right now, man. This game was, I mean, it was just so full of emotions, man. It's like you were down and then you were up and then you were down again, then you were confused and then you were mad. And man, I mean, it basically tapped at every emotion that you have as a fan. Like, but that's Saints football, man. Like, just when you think everything is going to work out, it doesn't. Anytime that you think that things are going to be, worse, it don't happen. It's amazing, man, how this team like just messes with you, man, emotionally like that, man. But I just have to say this. I got to start by saying Will Lutz. I know, like, his first season with the Saints, I know it was kind of up and down. A lot of people was like, man, why did Sean Payton just invest so much in this guy? Like, I just don't get it. But I mean, I'm telling you, man, he got to be like at least top three best kickers in the National Football League. Like, this guy is just unbelievable, man. Kicking that 58-yard field goal. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like that was poetic justice, because the last time the Saints actually played in the Superdome with a game that mattered, it basically broke our hearts because Greg Zuerlein kicked a 57-yard field goal to send the Rams to the Super Bowl. And I just feel like it's only right that Will Lutz kick a 58-yard field goal to make us feel good about this season, man. Wow. I mean, it's unbelievable, man, the parity of the National Football League. But let's go ahead and break this game down, okay? First off, in the first quarter, I have to say, the Saints have got to stop starting so slow. Like, it was like that all last season. Like, first quarter, they start slow. First half, I mean, they just basically are down by 1 and 2 touchdowns. I mean, playing from behind like that, eventually it's going to catch up with you. It will. Like, eventually you're going to go up against a team and you're not going to be able to bounce back from it. They have to learn how to start fast. They got to learn how to start on a high note. Those scripted plays, what they call the first 15, was absolutely horrible. Like, the Saints did not run the football at all. Like, they basically just went out there just throwing the ball all over the place. And it seemed like it was 2015, 2016 all over again. The Saints they had to have some balance, man. They got to have some balance going forward, man. I understand that the Houston Texans linebackers are kind of questionable in coverage, and so is their secondary. But that's no excuse for you not to run a football. And if you notice in the second half, when they start running the football with Alvin Kamara, with Latavius Murray, they started to get like yards, I mean, after contact. So I think Sean Payton, I think he just overthinks things sometimes. I think he wants to go out there and throw the ball all over the field, but man, you got to have a balanced attack, man. I mean, you got to have a balanced attack. If you don't, teams are going to basically, they're going to feel like you're one dimensional, and they're going to just. I mean, I wouldn't blitz Drew Brees, but they're going to find ways and understand that all you want to do is throw the football, so they're going to adjust accordingly. So the Saints got to learn balance. By the end of the first half, I think the Saints threw the ball 23 times and ran it 6 times. And that's totally unacceptable. Like you got to learn how to run a football. And all these people out there that's talking about Alvin Kamara, talking about how Alvin Kamara is going to be a every down back, is he going to be able to carry the load? I would like to show them this game tonight. That guy is an absolute beast. I mean, the way that this guy can get through the holes. I mean, he's like Le'Veon Bell mixed with Marshall Faulk, mixed with I mean, he like so many different type of running backs, man. Like he has power, he has speed, he has elusiveness. Like he hard to tackle, like he's smart with it. Like he never really takes a big hit. I mean, he took one tonight when he got helicoptered in the air. But if you notice, he still almost landed on his feet. Like this guy's incredible, man. Like anybody that's saying that this guy's not an every down back, like I would have to say, man, what have you been smoking? This dude is the truth. And then Latavius Murray, people were talking about, I miss Mark Ingram, Mark Ingram, I miss him. Like as soon as people were saying that this man break off a 30-yard touchdown, the fact of the matter is they were not using him in the game. So if you up here talking about you miss Mark Ingram, like how could you know? Because they weren't even using him. They weren't even using Kamara in the running game. So I feel like they need to clean that up. The defense, usual suspects, man. The usual suspects. PJ Williams, Eli Apple. Even though Eli Apple, he kind of settled down after he got posted. You know what I'm saying, by Fuller. I ain't see him no more in the game. I ain't see him really making too many more mistakes after that. So I give him benefit of the doubt. Marshawn Lattimore, man, he played pretty good. I don't want nobody going at Marshawn Lattimore like that because DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. And on that last play, which we're gonna, I'm trying to break it down from quarter to quarter, but on that last play, that was not his fault. And in a few minutes, I'm gonna tell you why that wasn't Marshawn Lattimore's fault. But like I said, this game was a game of emotions. The defense has got to get better. That interior line is absolutely terrible. I'm so glad that David Yamada is about to come back. He's going to be in the starting rotation. I don't know what they had on the field, but them guys was just getting sliced and diced. I mean, some of them guys, like they basically just got these guys. They just signed these guys to their team. And they were out there just absolutely just doing whatever they wanted to do to the New Orleans Saints running game. And that's shocking because the Saints were ranked number 2 in the National Football League against the run last season. And, for them to just get sliced and diced like that, man, that was embarrassing, man. Carlos Hyde was out there killing them dudes. And I'm like, this guy got signed maybe like 7 days ago, I think. And man, it was just horrible. Like they got to fix that interior, and they definitely got to fix those cornerbacks, man. PJ Williams, oh my goodness, like man, if he can't get it together, they're gonna have to find somebody else. You got to probably put like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the rotation. I know people probably upset at him because of that. That roughing the kicker pass, which was BS if you ask me. I feel like that was a screw job. But if you want to put Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in at the nickel, I'll be happy with that because he can't be no worse than PJ Williams. If the Saints want to go forward, they're gonna have to fix that secondary. I like what I saw. Uh, with the rushing the quarterback. They got 6 sacks in this game, and that's pretty good when you're going up against a Deshaun Watson, a guy who can get out of the pocket. And I have to say, I'm kind of shocked with Watkins tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like Watson, excuse me. I was shocked with Watson tonight because he was standing in that pocket, man. He wasn't so quick to try to run out of the pocket. He was trying to stand there and make plays. So I was impressed by him. But I like the Saints, front. I think when David Onyemata come back, they might be able to get some pressure and then also be able to, be able to stop somebody. But it was just horrible, man. They like third down, like it was just long third down plays, 3rd and 17, 3rd and 18, 3rd and 19. Like they were just converting these like they were just 3rd and 5s. I'm like, these guys got to get off the field. And finally, like when they started making stops, you notice the offense just started clicking. I think in the first quarter, I think you had to chunk that up to rust. I think the Saints still got chemistry issues when it comes to the offense. I feel like between Jared Cook and Drew Brees, they still need to get on the same page. But I must say this: I like the fact that it wasn't just the usual suspects finding the end zone. We seen Traquan Smith in the end zone tonight. Touchdown tonight. And we see Latavius Murray running for a touchdown. So that's very positive, man, because last year, it was just the Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and Michael Thomas show. And people are going to be double covering Michael Thomas throughout the game. So you got to step up, Traquan, and he did. He caught a touchdown, and Tay again, he had a couple clutch catches and stuff like that. And I think the chemistry between Drew Brees and Jared Cook is going to get better. Jared Cook is going to get better. So I enjoyed that. On the defensive line, I got to talk about Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport, look, that ain't it. Like, I understand what you gave up for him, but there is no way in the world he's playing better than Trey Hendrickson. If you notice, when the Saints needed a play on 3rd down, they put Trey Hendrickson in the game, and he basically whipped Laramie Tunsil for that sack. I mean, they didn't even call holding on that play, which was shocking to me. But it just seems like, man, Marcus Davenport, man, he too much of a nice guy to me. Like, he too nice, man. Like, I'm seeing him tackle guys, helping guys up. You know what I'm saying? Like, patting guys on the back, talking about good play. Look, man, bro, you need to have a mean streak or something. Like, man, you gotta, I don't know, man. It's like he missing something. I mean, he out there getting whipped and pushed around and bullied by a guy who just got signed on the team 5 days ago. And I'm not saying that Larry Tunsil was a slouch, but man, you gotta play better. Really no pressures. Most of the time when Carlos Hyde was running a football, they was running to his side and he couldn't get containment. Like it was just horrible, man. And teams are going to start double teaming Cameron Jordan, so these guys got those one-on-ones, man. And Marcus Davenport, I got to see more from him. Like I don't get it. Like, man, too nice for me, man. Trey Hendrickson, like, we all know what he is, man. We see him fighting in practice. We seen him, people were talking about how passionate he was at Florida Atlantic when he played in college. Man, he was so, like, intense. Coaches used to, like, sit him down and stuff like that, threaten to suspend him. But, I mean, you need guys like that, because he can kind of channel that and turn himself into a constant pro. There's nowhere in the world that Marcus Davenport, for the exception of the fact that the Saints spent a lot on him, is the reason why he's starting over Trey Hendrickson. It shouldn't happen. It should not happen. I need to see more out of him. There's no excuse for that, man. I mean, he was getting pushed around like he was just a piece of paper or something. I was like, wow, man, you just letting this man out here just bully you like this? You got to do better. But they did have 6 sacks in the game. They generated a pass rush. We even got a turnover, man. Got Marcus Williams with an interception. Could have had 2 picks if the defensive tackle didn't jump off sides. Marshawn Lattimore would have had 1. But like I said, I think Lattimore did a good job for all things considered. The reason why on that last drive they end up getting their 30-yard pass was because of Von Bell. Von Bell was out of position. Lattimore thought that Von Bell was behind him, for safety help. So that's why he kind of let up on a play because he thought that Von Bell was behind him, and that's the reason why Hopkins end up getting that crucial play. I mean, PJ Williams, for the touchdown, we already know what it is. I mean, the guy just straight toast bread. I mean, if people see number 26 on the field, they automatically know they're gonna throw the football to him, because they know they're gonna get some points out of it. The Saints just need a better slot corner. I just don't know what they see in this guy. Maybe because he kind of big, to be playing on the inside, they feel like he can bully the slots. But man, he just don't have that. He just don't have the speed, man. Once these guys break past him, he don't have recovery speed. So I think the Saints need to address that. It's rather you're gonna have to cut this dude, or you're gonna have to put Gardner Johnson in. And like I said, man, Gardner Johnson. I know some people are upset with him because of roughing the kicker, but I like Gardner Johnson, man. He played pretty good on special teams tonight, and him on the sidelines, looking like that, man. Shouts out to the secondary and the players going to him after he roughed the kicker. He was on the sideline, had the towel over his head, looked like he was about to. They're like you about to cry. They coming over there lifting his head up, telling you pick your head up. We gonna need you. See, that's the type of team that you want to play on. Guys who are playing for each other. Ain't nobody was blaming this dude or nothing like that. They encouraged him, and look what happened in the end. And Drew Brees did outstanding job also. I mean, I know he turned the ball over in the red zone for the first time in like 105 attempts. He didn't do it at all last season, but you have to, what credit is due, man. When Drew Brees like started to click and he started to shake off that rust, man, I got to tell you, it was absolutely something special to see. But I'm about to take your questions, but first I got to plug in my laptop. So while I'm plugging it in, I just want to congratulate the recipient who is going to receive the State of the Saints podcast T-shirt. If you did not know, I had a contest. If we got 2,000 subscribers by week 1 of the regular season, somebody will receive a free State of the Saints podcast T-shirt, and the person that will receive the T-shirt will be Jerry Poor Jr. Yeah, that's right, man, because he was the first person to send me an email with the right answer to the trivia question. So congratulations to you, Jerry. You will receive a State of the Saints podcast T-shirt courtesy of yours truly. And for those that didn't take advantage of the competition, didn't know about it, don't be discouraged, because we're going to continue to do these in the future. So you'll get opportunities to, take part in them. So congratulations to you, Jerry. All right, now we got power. So, Jerry, if you can, man, just send me your information. You can email me just your address and everything like that. I already got your shirt size, so I can go ahead and send you a shirt. But once again, congratulations to you, and we will have more competitions where people can receive T-shirts and different items of the State of the Saints podcast. All right, so y'all be on the lookout for that. But thank y'all very much for those that did submit the answers to me via email. But Jerry was just a little bit faster than y'all. All right, man. Now it's time for you all to have the floor. It's time for the Who Dat Nation to chime in, and we see what everybody has been talking about. Okay. Let's see. Big Nuts Lutz. Yeah, that's right. I call him Will Clutch. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even though Will Lutz, I call him Will Clutch, man. What a game. We had a lot of rookie mistakes tonight. Yeah, that's true, man. But I mean, it's week 1. You're gonna make those mistakes. You're gonna make those type of mistakes. So hopefully they can clean it up. But I don't think nothing was worse than an interior. Like that was horrible. Like absolutely horrible. Like I hope Mario Edwards can play in the next game. Malcolm Brown, he played all right, but some of those other guys in the interior, man, it was getting And they were just getting bullied, pushed around. Uh, Young Nola said, "Good game." Yes, it was. That was expected, though. I'm so excited. Yeah, man. Even though like the Saints had the ball at the last minute, and I was like, man, this game ain't over. I was like, man, this game ain't over. I said, anything. If you've been a Saints fan longer than 10, more than 10 years, I should say, you know the game ain't over till the clock hit all zeros. Like that, I knew it. I was like, man, they gave him too much time. And we know what it is, man. But I'm glad they were able to pull it out. A real good game. Yeah, it was. Best game of week one. I guarantee you, best game of week one. The game of the year. That's from Darnell. Yeah, man, it's the game of the year because they ain't have many of them, you know. So I guess if you're doing a poll, this had to be game of the year so far. Adriana said that she pulled the muscle jumping after the field goal. Hey, I did too. Hey, I had to send some posts to some of those hating Carolina Panthers fans, those hating Atlanta Falcon fans, and them hating Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans who was laughing at the misfortune of the Saints in the first half. People were like, oh, where y'all at, Saints fan? Where y'all at? I said, I kindly told them, I said, if you think that this game is over, you crazy. Okay. The Saints are never out of a game. I don't care if they're a team up 24-3. I still don't believe that the Saints are out of a game. Like that's how much faith I have in this team, man. Like it's just something about them. Like you can never count them out. Texans always give Saints problems. That's right. I said that on a podcast one time. The Texans always give the Saints problems. But I'll tell you who wasn't a problem tonight. JJ Watt. Look, NFL, if you're watching this podcast right now, which I doubt, y'all need to go ahead and dub Ryan Ramczyk the best right tackle in the National Football League. This man contained the best pass rusher in the NFL. People say that J.J. Watt is the best pass rusher or the best defensive end in football. Well, I tell you what, if he is, then Ryan Ramczyk put that man in check, so he needs to be the best right tackle. He didn't do a damn thing tonight. He didn't do nothing. He only had maybe like one pressure, and that was like late in the fourth quarter. But for the most part, Ryan Ramczyk kept that boy in check, period. Ryan Ramczyk is the best right tackle in football. Somebody need to show me somebody better than Ryan Ramczyk because he absolutely shut down J.J. Watt. And it wasn't like, he was getting double teamed. This man was one-on-one for the better part of this game. He was one-on-one with J.J. Watt, and he was winning that battle. Best right tackle in football. If Pro Football Focus don't have this man ranked number one after week one, something wrong. If they don't have this guy ranked number one after week one, then we don't need to listen to Pro Football Focus no more. This man dominated J.J. Watt, period, single-handedly. Invictus, what's up, man? Fake Saints fans stop watching at halftime. Great game. Marshawn Lattimore forced 3 drops out of Hopkins after his 0 drop 2018 season. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, man, Marshawn Lattimore, he battled all night. And he playing with a chip on his shoulder, you can tell. And like I said, if you're going up against the creme de la creme, I don't care if you Richard Sherman, Patrick Peterson, you're going to give up some plays. You're just going. And DeAndre Hopkins is the best of the best. This guy was a first-team All-Pro, right along with Michael Thomas. This guy led the league, in catches. Not catch percentages, not catches, but catch percentages. How high a percentage Michael Thomas had. I mean, Hopkins had it even higher than him. So this guy is incredible. So I can't knock him for giving up a few plays or. Man, you look at some of them catches that Hopkins had, man. I mean, it was just circus-like. So I take that. You're not going to be playing Hopkins every week. If you're playing him every week, then there'll be a problem. But anyway, I started pleading with God about 6 minutes in the fourth every single game. Yeah, man. Which was asking God to please let us win this game. Please. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Saints just put you through so many emotions, man. Like, it's just amazing. Like, you go through every single emotion you probably have: happiness, sadness, depression, anger. Like, all of that was in this game. Like, from the happy parts, them taking a lead, late in the third quarter. The angry parts when Michael Thomas caught the pass, in the first half, and for some apparent reason, the clock went from 43 seconds all the way down to 16. Like, it was unbelievable, man. Like, that made you angry. Then what made you depressed because you felt like in them two plays in the fourth quarter, the Texans just went downfield. You was like deja vu all over again. And then finally happiness. You're like, yeah, man, really excited, that Will Lutz kicked a 58-yard field goal. All the emotions that this team put you through, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. The New Orleans Saints, like, oh man, it is so great being a New Orleans Saints fan. Like, for real, like, it is so great to be a Saints fan. I'm not trying to knock no other fan base, but there's nothing like being a New Orleans Saints fan at all. Like, I know for a fact that no other team has the type of passion Saints fans got. Like, we wear our emotions on our sleeve and we don't apologize for it. So I love being a Saints fan. Young Nola said we beating the Rams. Yeah, I think we are, man. We're gonna be fired up for that game. I feel like the Saints gonna have something to prove. Like, somebody probably gonna leave up on that game knocked out, and I'm knocking on wood when I say that. But at the end of the day, man, the Saints, they're gonna be headhunting that game. They're gonna be playing on fire. Um, we got this year. I hope so. I hope we do. I live in Houston, so I'm gonna talk trash at school. Yeah, talk a little trash, man. The Houston Texan fans, they was talking a little greasy tonight. They was like, where that high powered offense at? Where Drew Brees at? They was talking pretty good, man. So yeah, talk trash back to them. First half was terrible, but second half changed it all. Same old thing, man. Like, if you go back to the Saints game last season, same issue. First half, they look like hot garbage. Second half, they play really, really well. They come back, defense. Like, I will say this: the New Orleans Saints do a great job at adjustments. Halftime adjustments, they do an outstanding job. So whoever, well, I know it's Sean Payton, but the coaching staff of the New Orleans Saints, they do an outstanding job with halftime adjustments. Is they gonna start Kiko though? Kiko Alonso didn't play in this game because he was dressed. I seen him on the sidelines, but I don't think that he has a grasp on the defensive playbook to be involved in the game right now. And I think the Saints have enough horses in a barn to actually be on the field while Kiko is actually learning and developing a playbook. And then eventually, once he get acclimated to the defense, you'll start seeing him in there. They'll probably sprinkle him in probably in the Rams game, and in that Seattle game, he'll probably be at full throttle. So I think they're gonna up his defensive snaps. So be on the lookout for Kiko. But I wasn't surprised he wasn't playing in this game because I mean he came like almost towards the first game. So I mean, just give him a chance, and I'm pretty sure he'll be on the field. Ice Cream Man, what's going on, man? Y'all check out Ice Cream Man 504 on YouTube. He does videos as well, man. I appreciate you for checking out the video. Bruh, PJ and Apple gotta go. Apple had an interception. If he would have just looked back on that Will Fuller catch. And I don't know what happened with that, but Eli Apple, he did get posterized. But I will say this: look, I know a lot of people say I take up for Eli Apple, but man, when you watch people like Ken Crawley on the other side of Marshawn Lattimore and PJ Williams, you like, okay, I can deal with an Eli Apple. Like he not that terrible. I mean, after he gave up that play, I didn't really hear about him anymore. So he was doing a pretty good job on Will Fuller after that because I don't think Will Fuller had anything except for one catch in this game, and that was it. So Eli Apple, he gave up a big play, but man, who would you rather be in there? Ken Crawley, PJ Williams? Like, come on, man. I don't think so. Patrick Robinson? No, not at all. So that you feel like can replace Apple, but he the best they got. He the best icon out of all those guys. So you got to roll with him. The Saints need to buy Drew Brees and Lutz a gumbo dinner. I think they need to buy Lutz a gumbo dinner, kicking that 58-yard field goal, man. That was impressive. That was impressive by Will Lutz, man. I mean, if you think about the circumstances, man, people still upset about what happened in the NFC Championship game. People just watched the Texans just go down the field on the Saints, and people like, man, it's just deja vu all over again, the heartbreak all over again. And all of a sudden, you just go out there and you just make a 58-yard field goal. Man, incredible, absolute. I was blown away. I mean, the way that guy kicked that field goal, man, and how clean it was. So Will Lutz is definitely the player of the game for me. He is, man. This was a team effort tonight. I can really truly say nobody in this game really stood out to me except for Alvin Kamara. Like, Alvin Kamara stand out every game, but nobody really stood out to me in this game. This was a team win. Like, you seen familiar faces make plays, but it was the Trey's. I mean, it was the Latavius Murrays. It was the Trey Hendricksons. I mean, we seen Marcus Williams with a pick. This guy like covered like maybe 20 yards to go across the field to catch an interception. Like, we seen guys rally around each other, man, playing for each other. That is what teamwork and team camaraderie is all about. Like, the Saints won this game as a team. We didn't see Michael Thomas score a touchdown. We didn't see Alvin Kamara score a touchdown. We seen Latavius Murray, Traquan Smith, and Taysom Hill score a touchdown. I mean, that is very refreshing. That is refreshing to know that you can actually have guys that can step up, that can make plays when the Saints need to make them. So I was impressed, but I have to say Will Lutz is the player of the game for me because of what he did. I'll take a walk-off field goal. I didn't want to be going to overtime with those cats. Yeah, me too, man. Like, I was happy they had that walk-off field goal because the way the Texans were playing, I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints would have lost this game. And to be honest with you, I said it on the NFC South versus NFL podcast that I'm on. Y'all check that out on YouTube as well. Just the NFC South versus the NFL. I actually thought that the Saints were going to lose this game. I thought this was going to be one of those games that the Saints kind of trip up on. Like, I'm going to be honest, because, I mean, the track record shows, since 2013, the Saints haven't won a week one matchup. So I thought this might be one of them games, and then the Saints, just get on hot streaks like they've been doing for the last couple of years. But I must say that I have never been so happy to be wrong. For real. Rankins is missing. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Like, they need him back in a major way. But they shouldn't rush him now. They shouldn't rush him. I would rather him be fully healed and deal with this because Rankins is one of those guys that are going to be playing for the Saints for years to come. So get this man fully healed, but he is missed. David was too. Yeah, he was. Saints, he need to use Cook more. Yeah, man, that's just because Cook hasn't been practicing. I don't know if he was dealing with injuries or whatever, but you can tell like the chemistry between him and Drew Brees isn't fully there yet. But as time go on, as the season goes on, you're probably going to see Jared Cook a lot more. Okay, what is going on with Davenport? I have no idea, Derek. But he need to get it together, man. The way that man was getting whooped and beat down like that man played about as soft as a Posturepedic pillow, like for real. Like, he was soft tonight. This man was getting pushed around. Like, man, don't help the man up off the ground, bruh. Like, for real, man. Like, who be besides who's a person like Andrew Luck was like the only person I know that was just a super nice guy. Dude sack you, throw you around all violently. Good sack, man. Good man. Leave that dude on the ground. That's his teammate job to pick him up. You ain't gotta be all Mr. Nice Guy. Go out there and make a play, man. Go out there and make a play. Jeez. Like that's what I was bothered by. He just too nice, man. Getting pushed around. Like, come on, man. Like, you gotta have an edge or something. Like, for real, man. Like, I ain't seeing it. Like, I gave this guy the benefit of the doubt, and I thought like maybe he'll come out there and I see like some improvement, but he was getting whooped, man. Like, that is totally unnecessary. Like, it is totally unnecessary for this guy to go out there and just be getting whooped the way he did. You know, I mean, I only seen like one tackle he made, man. I was like, okay, but getting pushed around like that, man, like not getting no pressure. I put Trey Hendrickson in. I would put Trey Hendrickson in, and I'll have Davenport like as his backup because Hendrickson, I feel like you're going to get some pressures from him more than you'll get them from Davenport. I mean, unless Davenport got to prove me wrong, but right now I'm saying Hendrickson needs to be the starter. The only reason why he's not is because, like I said, of the placement of Marcus Davenport, the pick that the Saints selected him. That's the only he's on the field. I was not impressed. I was very disappointed at the performance of Marcus Davenport tonight. Lattimore did not do a good job. He was getting burnt too. He man, look who he was going up against though. Like, man, we gotta chill, man, on this. Oh, he got burned. He got posterized. Man, we gotta give these guys some credit. Like, we gotta understand these guys are going up against the elite. I mean, me personally, I won't give a guy a hard time if he out there, for example, if he's going up against Randy Moss, who's supposed to be a good cornerback. I'm not gonna hold this man accountable for that because Randy Moss will do that to anybody. Okay, Antonio Brown, crazy ass. Like, if you're going up against him, like, I know you're gonna get burnt. He's probably gonna get the best of you because these guys are elite. But if Marshawn Lattimore was going up against, I don't know, Taylor Gabriel or something like that, and he was getting posterized, then I'd be like, man, what's wrong with this dude? But if you're getting, if you get a couple passes caught on you by guys like Julio Jones and Mike Evans and DeAndre Hopkins and guys like Antonio Brown, like, I ain't got no problem with it. I don't have no problem with it because those guys gonna get the catches because they're incredible athletes. They're incredible, man. So Hopkins is one thing. Taylor Gabriel is another. Okay, no disrespect to Taylor Gabriel. He's a good wide receiver, a burner. But I feel like Marshawn Lattimore needs to win that matchup. But if you're going up against Hopkins, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because Hopkins will do that to anybody. Guy's the best. He's the absolute best. He's the best the NFL has to offer right now. He did pretty good, got an interception. I think you're talking about Marcus Williams. I would need 5 minutes from Hopkins. Like, did y'all see the way he slammed down Marcus Williams after Marcus Williams caught that pick? Bro, we'll need 5 minutes. We're going to have to go outside or something. You know what I'm saying? Outside the Superdome. I'm going to have to catch you by the bus because I need 5 minutes. Like, the way he slammed that guy down and he came down on his knee like that, like, he could have, like, really did some damage to the knee of Marcus Williams the way that his knee hit that turf like that. And that's, underneath that turf is concrete. You know what I'm saying? So this man, like, getting slammed into the turf like that first, that could have messed up that man's knee. Man, you could have dislocated something. That man could have broke something and he would have been out. Yeah, I would have need 5 minutes from hockey. He would have caught the fade for real. Like, you messing with a man's livelihood right there, slamming that man down like that. Man, think he Brock Lesnar or something. But anyway, what's going on, Travis? How you doing, man? Thanks for checking out the podcast. Who got to pick up? Who got to pick up blood pressure medicine tomorrow? Man, me. Burnt like toast. Smoke like brisket. That's it. Burnt like a biscuit. Yep. Smoke like brisket, burnt like a biscuit. That's the that's the motto, man. That's the catchphrase. Smoke like brisket, burnt like a biscuit. Trey Hendrickson, nastier than Davenport. I agree. I definitely agree. Eli got burnt like brisket. Yep, gotta play better. Yep. He gotta play better, but he did kind of rally once again in the second half. He did. I didn't hear from him. Gave up a play or two or something like that, but I think that I think he played pretty good in the second half. Let's go ahead and look at some of these stats, man. I got the stats right here. So let's see. Got them on my phone right here. Let's look at the box scores. Anybody, what was your favorite part of the game? Well, I'm looking at these box scores. Okay, I'm checking these stats out. Drew Brees was 32 of 43, 370 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That 1 interception in the red zone, that was very unconventional of Drew Brees. He had me worried. I ain't gonna lie. The first couple drives, I was like, oh my God, Drew Brees has turned 40, and there's nothing we can do about it. I was a little concerned, man. But I am concerned still at the 43 attempts at passing the football. Drew Brees is 40 years old. He should not be throwing the ball 43 times in a game. I don't care if Drew Brees is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the National Football League. He still does not need to be throwing the football 43 times. So I would challenge Sean Payton to kind of cut down on that and sprinkle a little bit more of the running game. I feel like the Saints got away from the running game in the game. They felt like they had to pass it to catch up. But I feel like the reason why the Saints had to play catch up was because they wasn't running the football, in my opinion. And that was giving the Texans more time because the Saints will, throw the ball 3 times. They'll probably get a first down, keep the drive going. And then the next thing like you find yourself 10 plays, all of them passing plays. So they got to cut down. Drew Brees don't need to be throwing the ball 40 his age and what the Saints have as far as the offensive line and having those guys that can actually run block. I mean, you got Latavius Murray, 6'3", 230 pounds, and you got Kamara, who has done an outstanding job running the football on tonight. Alvin Kamara had 13 carries for 97 yards. His longest was 28. You had Latavius Murray with 6 attempts for 43 yards. And you had Taysom Hill with 2 carries for 8 yards. Taysom Hill did a good job tonight. I think the run pass option and the read option that Taysom Hill ran tonight was really good. I like how the Saints lined him up. When he scored the touchdown, they had him almost like on a chip play. We actually chipped the corner, and then he went out as like a tight end. And he caught a pass for a touchdown. So Taysom Hill really living up to the moniker of Swiss Army knife. You know what I'm saying? He did an outstanding job. Receiving, we had Michael Thomas with 10 catches for 123 yards. Most of Michael Thomas' work tonight was in crucial situations when the Saints needed it to convert on 3rd down. That 3rd and 17 was huge. Going into halftime, I feel like the Saints got screwed. I know people are like, oh man, the Saints fans are always talking about how the Saints got screwed. But once again, just like a blind man could see that in the NFC Championship game, a blind man could have saw that the clock went from 43 seconds to 16 seconds. I mean, I'm just confused by that. I just don't get it. Then they gave him a 10-second runoff. So I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Ted Ginn Jr. quietly had 7 catches for 101 yards. Man, that was – I didn't even think Ted Ginn Jr. had 100 yards. Wow. Alvin Kamara had 7 catches for 72 because it was holding, so it had to go back. But I was thinking that Alvin Kamara was going to spring one play when he went out on a angle route and he got in front of the linebacker. I mean, so that was pretty impressive. But he had 7 catches for 72 yards. You had Jared Cook, 2 catches, 37 yards. Traquan Smith, 2 catches for 26 yards. Of course, Taysom Hill, 1 catch, 9 yards. That was for that touchdown. Latavius Murray, 2 catches for 4 yards. It says right here that Alvin Kamara fumbled the football. He did not fumble that football. I just think that the referees didn't want to challenge that because they probably thought that, well, no harm, no foul because they were able to get the ball back. But if I was Alvin Kamara, I'd dispute that. They'll have to take that off my stats or something like that. I send a letter to the NFL office or something like that, man. Be like, man, take that off there. I did not fumble the football. So he definitely didn't fumble that football. I don't know what the hell they was thinking with that one. The leading tackle for the Saints was Von Bell. He had 7 tackles and he had 5 solo. He had 1 quarterback hit. Alex Anzalone had 5 tackles. You had Cam Jordan, who had 5 tackles, 4 solo, and he had a sack. Then you had Trey Hendrickson. This is what I'm saying. He had 3 tackles, 3 solos, and 2 sacks. As of right now, Trey Hendrickson is the lead player on defense in sacks. So Sean Payton, I mean, come on now. Like, you gotta be smart about this. Like, we can't worry about somebody's feelings or messing with somebody's confidence. If Marcus Davenport wants to get on the field, he have to earn it because it seems like Trey Hendrickson is trying to earn his. Malcolm Brown had a half a sack. Tuttle had a half a sack. Yeah, of course, you had Marcus Williams with an interception. Dante Harris, I feel like he did a good job. I still feel like he still has room to grow. I seen a couple plays where he could have he signaled for a fair catch inside of the 10-yard line. I think Booker McFarland hit the nail on the head. You put your cleats on the 10-yard line. If the ball goes over your head, you let it go. If it goes in front of you, you catch it. But if you feel like the ball is going to bounce back, just try to catch it or field it or something. But if it goes over your head, like if you see it's going, just get out the way, man. Let it go ahead and get a touchback. So he still has room to improve on that. But for the most part, I think he is the answer to the special teams. He's the answer because I've seen a couple plays where I was like, man, wow. When you thought he should have went for a fair catch, he was doing his thing. So shouts out to Harris. Of course, Will Lutz went 3 for 4. Missed that 56-yard field goal going into halftime. Judy says, may I say that I love your commentary. You're on point. Thank you, Judy. I try to be. Like I said, man, I tell people all the time, I'm just a Saints fan at the end of the day. I'm just like you all. I'm just passionate about the team. And, I don't have like the great setup in the background and stuff like that, like some other guys. I'm glad, they took their shows to the next level, and shouts out to them, man. I watch and support their shows, but that's just not me, man. That's not what I'm all about. I'm just about being a fan, just a regular everyday guy who sits behind his mic and just talk about my favorite team and answer questions, because we're all fans at the end of the day. I don't carry myself as, like, oh man, I got these many people following me and I got these many people liking my videos. Look, man, all that, I realize that I'm absolutely nothing without you all support. So I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate you all, sticking by me and checking out any of my videos. If this is your first time checking out the video, thank you. If you ever shared a video, if you ever watched 1 minute of my video, thank you very much. And hopefully, you watch a little bit longer, but I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you, Judy, for the kind words. Metalhead said PJ Williams at the hospital with 3rd-degree burns. Oh man, that is funny right there, man. You need to make that a post if you're on Twitter or something like that. You need to get some points for that one, man. That was 3rd-degree burns. Yeah, he got pretty burnt the whole night, getting smoked up most of the night. So I don't know what they're gonna do at the slide. I'm so frustrated, man, because I watched the Green Bay Packers. Sorry as their defense been all year, throughout the years, I watched their defense, man, shut down the Chicago Bears. Be that as it may, Mitchell Trubisky is their quarterback. But the Green Bay Packers never had a defense. As long as Aaron Rodgers been there, they never had a defense. I just want a year where the Saints just have a good defense. Like we can trust them to make plays, linebacker fly around the field, guys generating turnovers, guys getting containment. That is what I want. That's all I want, man. I just want to go into a season where I can know teams ain't gonna be able to score on the Saints. That's all I want. Like I get tired of this, man. I get tired of guys being out of position, and there's no excuse. Dennis Allen has been the defensive coordinator about 5 years, maybe 6, and these guys have been together 3 and 4 years, together as a cohesive unit. Man, you guys should know what the other person is thinking before they do it. You should understand defense that Dennis Allen is trying to implement. You should never be out of position. The only person that should be out of position is C.J. Gardner-Johnson if he playing. That's the only person I can take. But guys like Marcus Williams, Lattimore, Apple, like these guys need to be on the same page. There's no excuse why they shouldn't be on the same page. I just do not get it. I just want the team. I just want an elite defense. I just want an elite defense. I be getting mad. You watch the Seattle Seahawks, Legion of Boom. You watch the Denver Broncos when they won against the Carolina Panthers that year. Like you watch these guys have an elite defense, and you like, man, why can't my defense be the truth like that? Like, exactly, Noah, the Bears defense. Like, it seems like teams can get good elite defenses, but the Saints can't. I don't understand it. I just don't. I just don't know why they can't get guys that can shut down with receivers, that can be short tacklers, that can generate sacks, and that can get off the field on third down. I just don't get it. It's time. Like we all know what the offense can do. The offense can, like they're going to generate points. They're gonna find a way. If Drew Brees start off cold, it's a matter of time before he warm up. But the defense, man, they just got to do better. Like sometimes I would like a game where the offense don't have to carry the defense. Like let the defense carry the offense sometimes. It's okay to have a game where it's low scoring. I take it if that means that the defense showed up, but not getting pressure, even though they got something tonight. Not getting containment, getting posterized every play. Fans got to hold their breath anytime that you see a bomb going downfield because you think a guy gonna be out of position. You get tired of that, man. Like you do. You get tired of it, and you wonder like when Sean Payton gonna get this stuff fixed. Like what the hell is going on here? I just don't get it. I just want a better defense. That's all. Because I feel like all these years, Drew Brees have been putting up all them yards. If he probably would have had a defense, the Saints would have been in better position. Probably would have had more than one Super Bowl ring. Get Taysom Hill to replace Williams. Taysom Hill is an incredible athlete. Like the way that he the way he trucked that cornerback Roby tonight, I was like, wow, man. This man dropped a shoulder on this dude. And like the way this guy like put everything he had into it. I'm talking Roby. He put everything he could into Taysom Hill, and Taysom Hill just completely like just truck dude. I was like, wow, man. Like Taysom Hill is an incredible athlete, man. Like for him to be lined up at tight end, for him to play quarterback, for him to do running back, that guy's incredible, man. So I don't know what to say. Like when he put the hit stick on Roby for the Texans, I was like, wow, man. I mean, this is a quarterback doing this. The Saints draft running backs, receivers, and linemen well, but they don't draft defensive players well. I can't say that. I can't say they don't draft players well because now we see people like Alex Anzalone. He's good. We see people like Trey Hendrickson. He's good. We see people like Cam Jordan. He's good. They can do it. The problem is, Juan, is can they do it consistently? Jeff Ireland for the past couple of years, I say about 4 years. He's been in charge of the scout team, and now the Saints have gotten guys into the building that can actually make plays. The problem is they still got some of those guys that don't, like PJ Williams. That was a before Jeff Ireland scouted player. Of course, Eli Apple. He wasn't a guy that was drafted by the Saints. He was drafted by the Giants. But people like Von Bell, a guy you can send on a blitz. I mean, you got people like Lattimore, people like Williams. These guys are the guys that Jeff Ireland scouted and got into the building, thought they would be a good idea that Sean Payton draft these guys. So I don't want to say that the Saints can't draft defensive players, because they can, and not to mention Sheldon Rankins as well, So they do a good job. For the past 4 years, they've done a good job getting good guys in the building. I just don't know why they just can't get the secondary correct. I just don't understand that. I don't know if it's just tackling drills they do at practice. I just can imagine like what the Saints defense does in practice. Like I be hearing sometimes like they be getting the best of the offense, and I'll be like, how, man? Now, how can they get the best of the offense? And then they go out there and they just get smoked. And I know like none of them quarterbacks that they playing against are like Drew Brees. So I don't know what be going on. Maybe they letting somebody else play quarterback, but I can't see how if Drew Brees throws a 50-yard bomb down the field, PJ Williams ain't gonna get posterized by it. Or if he throws like a slant or out route to Jared Cook, PJ Williams ain't gonna get posterized. Like I don't understand how. Like Key Kirkwood, can't run a slant or something like that. I mean, I can't see it. Like if these guys are getting the best of the offense in practice, like I'm a little nervous now from what I've seen on the field. Let's see. Noah says Kamara easily top 5 running back. Yeah, he is. I don't want to hear none of this stuff. I've been hearing people talk about Christian McCaffrey. No disrespect to Christian McCaffrey. He's a good running back. Good player for the Carolina Panthers, but he ain't messing with Alvin Kamara. Like Alvin Kamara, like on a whole nother level from these dudes, man. Like this dude is just incredible. Like the way this man maneuvers and gets yards after contact and catches the ball out the backfield. I mean, he has hands almost like a wide receiver. Man, Christian McCaffrey ain't touching this guy, and Christian McCaffrey is really good. Cousins World. Maybe I'm just biased. I think the officiating was just subpar. There were several suspicious penalties called and a few no calls. I think they was real careful in this game. I think they were real careful because they understood like a lot of the fans were going to be on edge. The whole world was watching. So a lot of people were looking for the referees to make mistakes. And they did, and they got, they caused the Saints a couple of times. I feel like that C.J. Gardner-Johnson roughing the kicker play was, the kicker had his foot down. It was already planted. So I don't feel like nothing C.J. Gardner-Johnson did affected him missing the extra point. So I didn't understand that. And definitely that 3rd and 17 or 3rd and 19 that Michael Thomas caught. They screwed the Saints out of like 20 plus seconds of that clock. So yeah, there was some questionable calls in the game, no doubt. Pablo says Sean Payton deciding to run the ball on 3rd and 19 confused me. What was up with that? I'm worried Drew can't chunk it anymore. His one deep ball was a hair short of Ghana. Okay. First off, the 3rd and 19. I thought that was pretty smart because teams were prepared for them to throw the football on 3rd and 19. And then at this particular time, the Saints had the lead. So if you're running the football, you still got the clock moving. So if you run the clock 40 seconds, you burn that all the way down, and then you punt the football. That's still 40 seconds off of the clock. So I wasn't mad at that. I didn't think that Drew Brees was going to throw the football anyway because he got sacked on a couple plays before that, and he was kind of walking a little gingerly after that. So I think uh, Sean Payton didn't want him to put the ball in the air because of that. I think he's all right, but I think that kind of messed with him a little bit because if you notice, like after that sack, they ran twice, so it kind of relieved Drew Brees, get some pressure off of him. Uh, Drew Brees never had a big arm though, Pablo. He never did. I mean, he used to throw the ball down the field, but it wasn't like he was throwing it like he was Patrick Mahomes or Brett Favre or something. Like he always kind of had like those receivers that ran those intermediate routes. The Saints always kind of just been a nickel and dime team. Drew Brees just kind of matriculating the ball downfield, nickel and diming it, a nickel here, a dime there, a penny there, a quarter there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he never just sitting around there and just threw the ball down the field. You probably had a flea flicker to Robert Meacham or Devin Henderson or something like that, or Joseph Coleman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what was that dude's name? What was that wide receiver name? Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan, that's his name. Joe Morgan, throwing the ball to him or something like that. But I mean, he just never really had a big arm. The Saints always kind of just ran the offense with them intermediate routes. It was just high powered because Drew Brees was so good and the play calling was so good that Drew Brees can throw them the ball and these guys can get yards after the catch. It's almost like, to me, it's almost like playing at Ohio State. You look at some of these quarterbacks that came from Ohio State. They come to the league. People like Cadell, JT Barrett. You look at guys like that. Cardell Jones. Yeah, Cardell Jones. You look at guys like that. These guys basically would throw like 5-yard passes, and then the wide receivers will break it for 60 yards. But it'll make their stats look high. Drew Brees always kind of been that way. Drew Brees kind of puts his receivers in position to make big plays. And that's what he's been doing, over the past couple of years. It wasn't the fact that Drew Brees has been throwing the ball all over the place, been bombing it out. It's just the fact that they put their receivers in position to make plays and get those yards after the catch. He can throw the deep ball still. I mean, he can still throw the deep ball, Warren. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I just don't think that is a part of the Saints offense. Kamara, best running back in the NFL. I'm not gonna go that far. I think they got some running backs that's a little better than him. But overall running back, I think he's the best. Overall, like he still has to show that he can be, that every down guy. Even though I know he can be, because when Mark Ingram missed those 4 games last season, Kamara kind of stepped up, and I think honestly, because of those 4 games, how well Alvin Kamara played when Ingram was suspended, I think that kind of made the decision kind of easy for the Saints because they, realized that Alvin Kamara can be that guy. That's just my opinion. Kamara is not a small back at all. No, he's not. I mean, he's like 215 pounds. He's always been a nice size back. The thing about it is he just looks so skinny, but he has some size on him, man. He's 215 pounds, so that's a pretty nice size for a running back. Kamara was take unfair hit in the Rams game. I don't know, man. I'm just looking forward to them Cowboys. All them dirty hits that Jalen Smith was putting on Alvin Kamara, trying to go after his head to knock him out of the game. That's the game I'm looking forward to. Who is going to win the next game? I got the Saints beating the Rams. I got them beating the Rams. I think they're going to be playing inspired. And I think that this game, everybody gonna be paying attention to. They're gonna be paying attention to this game because of course, everything that happened in the NFC Championship game. So I don't know if this America's game of the week. It should be. At the end, Kenny Stills told the coach, "Throw it to me." Williams is covering, guaranteed 6 points, bro. I believe it. I believe he did. CJ Williams, Kamara equals the best back in the league. Okay. CJ, you're entitled, to your opinion, and I can understand why you feel that way, but I still feel like there's still some more work for him to do in order for him to take that. Saquon Barkley is out there, Ezekiel Elliott is out there, Ty Gurley is out there, so he just has to show that he can be that number one running back for the NFL to see, for him to get his respect. We know where Alvin Kamara has been. I'm now starting to hear his name on some of these national outlets. I didn't hear it before, but now I'm starting to hear his name. And I think if he has some games like this, Monday Night Football, everybody's seeing what he can do. And that was a bomb visor he had on, by the way. I wonder if he's gonna get fined for that. He had like the gold visor on. I know, NFL like to fine people for, having color visors on, but that gold visor he had on, man, that was tight. I know he probably gonna get fined for it, but hell, that was worth getting fined for that. That was bomb right there. I know I like that visor right there. Can't lie. I watched the Panthers play the Rams, and CMC was doing his thing, but not better than AK-41. Darnell, Christian McCaffrey is a good running back, like really good, but I still don't think he's better than Alvin Kamara. I just don't. We need to go get Kenny Vaccaro back. I am just saying. Nah, I don't miss Kenny Vaccaro. I mean, Kenny Vaccaro, great on the blitz, liability and coverage. So we already got some guys as liability and coverage. So I don't want to see that no more. I'm good. I'm good on. I need somebody that's gonna be where they need to be. I think me personally, I don't believe he's still out here. I don't know why, but I think the Saints need to try to get somebody like, I don't know, like Eric Berry or something like that. Eric Berry's still out there. I don't know if he can still play. It has to be some reason why Eric Berry hasn't been picked up by a team. But I want to get somebody like that, somebody that's proven that they can be a great player. I know he's been injured over the past few years, but I'll take Eric Berry. That's the only person I can think of that's out there that I will be interested in getting, and that would be a part of the defense. I feel like that would make it better. For the fans out there who said Brees not clutch, he proved them wrong tonight with only 20 seconds left to get his team in position to win. That's why he's a future Hall of Famer. Thank you, Brandon. You're absolutely right. And I'm gonna be honest, man. Some of these Saints fans really bother me. Like me because they always nitpicking. Like it can be like one play. The Saints hand the ball off to Latavius Murray, he gets a yard. I miss Mark Ingram. Like, the Saints can throw the ball down the field and Key Kirkwood can drop a pass. Man, wow, Emmanuel Butler ain't playing. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, man, just let the game, just let the game happen. And at the end, then if you feel that way, fine. But I'm like in the middle of the game when it's over, I'm about to panic. It's over. We about to go 0-1. I'm like, it's halftime. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I just don't get it. I mean, people were talking about, Mark Ingram and Latavius Murray ain't the answer. And it was like the first half when the Saints only ran the ball 6 times. I'm like, how do you know he's not the answer? He didn't even run the football. So I'm like, but let's be logical about some of these comments that we make. I mean, people just, quickly jump to conclusions. But I just need people to keep that same energy, man, because I know that like some of the people like on some of these group pages on social media that focus on the Saints, I noticed like when the Saints started slowly coming back in that game, them posts started to disappear. so so I think there's a saying they said keep your words nice and sweet because you might have to eat them. So a lot of people eating crow tonight. If you're a Saints fan and you've been a Saints fan for the last couple of years, you know that the Saints are never out of a game until the clock hits zero. You know it. So I understand you want them to win and your blood pressure high and you feel like you're about to pass out, but man, come on, man. Like everybody trying to be playing armchair quarterback after Latavius Murray run the ball and he gets stopped for 1 yard, or Alvin Kamara gets stopped in the backfield. Like, come on, man. I think Latavius Murray played pretty well tonight. Okay, I mean he will never replace Mark Ingram. We all love Mark Ingram and we wish him success. I'm glad like he out there balling in Baltimore, but I mean, Latavius Murray is here, and for what I seen tonight, I think the Saints made a good decision. If they couldn't get Mark Ingram back, they got Latavius Murray. He's pretty good. Bottom line, mission accomplished. We are 1-0, leading the division. Absolutely. Because it definitely ain't them Atlanta Falcons. Them Falcons who I predicted was going to lose by 3 touchdowns. And I still say they lost by 3 touchdowns because I don't count that last touchdown that of that game because we all know it was garbage time. It was time to take out the trash. All right, so I don't even count that. I do not count that. The Atlanta Falcons lost by 3 touchdowns. They got embarrassed, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Their defense didn't look good. And any Atlanta Falcon fan that got something to say to me, man, bruh, I would say look at your team and they can do to make themselves better because that was an embarrassment. But I saw it coming. I saw it coming. And the guys that I do the show with, DJ, shouts out to DJ, Buccaneers fan, and Mike, he's a Carolina Panthers fan. They was just like, ooh, they thought maybe, probably thought I was joking, but I was serious, man. I saw that coming. I knew that the Vikings were gonna blow them boys out. Taysom Hill will be a good quarterback. I'm starting to see that, man. I ain't gonna lie. He's starting to make a believer out of me. The way that those guys play with him, the way that those guys get excited when he touches the ball, there's only a few people that can do that. And I gotta say that pregame speech that Drew Brees gave at the beginning of the game, man, that was stuff for legend right there. That got me fired up. Made me want to go put on a uniform and go out there and play. That was an incredible pregame speech. If you haven't heard it, you can follow me on Facebook, facebook.com, search the State of the Saints podcast, and you'll be able to hear it on there. Let's see. Gotta head to bed. I love the show, bro. Who that? Pablo, good night to you, man. Thank you for checking it out. And I'm probably about to do the same thing. I'm about to head out as well. If you have any questions, you can always email me at stateofthesaints@gmail.com, stateofthesaints@gmail.com. And also, you can follow me on Facebook, facebook.com, search the State of the Saints podcast. On Twitter, SOTS Podcast 8, TS Podcast 8. And I'm also on Instagram, TJ Jones _ TJAYJONES _ And I kind of focus on the Saints on my Instagram page, but it's mostly just me being, just being silly and pictures of my son and stuff like that, which I believe is my good luck charm. Okay. Well, before I go, I gotta say this. My son is my good luck charm, okay? Because my son, for those that don't know, he's 4 months old. So I was really excited, really hyped because I was able to watch the first regular season game with my 4-month-old son, watch the Saints game. So he was on the couch. I laid him down. It was the first half. The first half, the Saints were down 14-3. So my son, I picked him up like during halftime and I fed him, during halftime. And then I started to hold him and stuff like that, after I put him. You know, he ended up like falling asleep on the game, but the Saints started coming back. So I was like, you know, I started getting excited. I didn't think about this at the time, but my fiance, she comes in and she says, "I want a bath." So it was the last drive from the Texans in the fourth quarter, and I gave him to her so she can give him a bath. And in those two plays, Deshaun Watson went down the field on them. And I was like, wow, man. But then, you know, like Will Lutz kicked that game winning field goal. So I really feel like my son was my good luck charm in that game. He was the Saints' good luck charm. Okay. I will go to my grave believing that, okay? Because as long as I was holding him, the Saints were coming back in the game. So I got a true good luck charm in the form of a 4-month-old baby. Okay. And I will forever believe that. And even if it has absolutely nothing to do about the game, I still say he is my good luck charm because he is my motivation. But this has been the State of the Saints podcast. Once again, thank you all for checking it out. Previous episodes are available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio.com, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please, youtube.com, search the State of the Saints podcast. Till next time, all I have to say is, who dat? Good night, everybody.